Hello friends, it's Christmas in Singapore. You know, it'd be really funny. It'd be funny if some Buddhist monk from Africa just shows up next to me. That would be funny.
Hi, Ming.
Whoa, it's Bhante Buddharakhita
From Uganda.
from Uganda. The most venerable Bhante Buddharakhita was born Stephen Jamba Kabagoza in Uganda in 1966. In 1990, he went to India for business studies, but ended up encountering something much better, Buddhism. He decided to go deep, so he worked as a scuba diving instructor in Thailand in 1997. Then he decided to go deep into Buddhism and attended a 3-month insight meditation retreat at Insight Meditation Society in Massachusetts. He eventually ordained as a Theravada Buddhist monk in California in November 2002. In 2005, Bhante returned to Uganda with a Buddha statue from Sri Lanka, a tent, and Bodhi seeds from India. There, he officially registered the Uganda Buddhist Center, the first Buddhist temple in Uganda. His mobile tent became his first mobile temple from which he gave sermons. His mother and sister took the 3 refuges in the Triple Gem. With that, the seeds of Buddhism were planted in Uganda. In 2006, Bhante acquired 2 acres of land and expanded the Uganda Buddhist Center from this humble little temple into this. Bhante's mother, Venerable Dhammakami, eventually ordained as the first Theravada Buddhist nun in Africa. In 2008, the president of the World Buddhist Summit in Japan recognized Bhante as the supreme Buddhist leader of Uganda. In recognition of his Dharma work in Uganda, Bhante appeared on Japanese postage stamps in 2008. Talk about getting a stamp of approval. Friends, here's the most venerable Bhante Buddharakhita. The topic I want to talk about today, Bhante, is generosity.
Yeah.
Not just generosity. I'm interested to find out about its importance on the spiritual path.
Yes.
And the reason it interests me is how often the Buddha talks about generosity. Right? So first he talks about it as the first paramita.
Yes.
So the word paramita means perfection. So it's a first thing, the first thing to perfect on your way to enlightenment. Right? And then in addition, he also talked about wealth. And the Buddha said there are 5 kinds of wealth: faith, virtue, learning, generosity, and wisdom. And so I'd like to ask you, Bhante, to teach us about generosity.
And it's a very beautiful topic, generosity. The Pali word is Dana.
Yes. Please enlighten us generosity.
Generosity. Okay, generosity is the act of giving. In other words, the outward disposition of really giving actually material thing, from crossing from one to the giver to the receiver. But even there's another important word which is very, very important. It's called Caga. Caga is inward disposition. Caga, from here, Caga is an inward disposition. While Dana, generosity, is outward disposition, but Caga is actually inward disposition. And these are qualities of renunciation, non-greed, non-attachment, loving kindness, compassion, wisdom, courage. So this combination of qualities of minds can prompt us to give, not for the sake of giving, but knowing that we are renouncing, knowing that we are letting go, we're giving out all loving kindness, compassion, and wisdom, understanding like that. So this is very, very important, because most people talk about Dana,
Yes.
but they forget to talk about Caga, which is actually what prompts you, the motivation that prompts you to give.
Fascinating.
Yes. Yes. This is very important, and I will tell you why it's very, very important.
Tell me.
Yeah. But no, first I tell you, when I teach in Australia, I teach young people, they say, for us, we don't know what we can give. We don't have money. We don't have
food. We don't have basket of gold, basket of silver, and elephants. That's right. So I usually don't give out elephants, but that's just me.
Yes. So now, sometimes I teach and they say, Well, you're not giving us anything. You're telling us to have the temple, and what are you giving us? So probably. So I'll tell you some, according to the lists that I have developed, that need to be given out if I talk about the importance of Dana. Okay. It's a caption, what to call an acronym, streamed, like a stream. S-T-R-E-A-D, E-S-N-D.
Stream ED.
Yes, ED. We start one by one.
Sounds good.
S for stream stands for space.
Space.
You need to give space. Actually, in Uganda and in Nigeria, where I've been in India, people don't give space, and it's free. So each squeezes in one space, and they cause accidents. So for me, I can cut accident by half by telling them to start to be generous with space.
Oh, I like that.
You like it?
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. When I was teaching in a prison in California, and also I taught in a prison in Washington, D.C., the inmates told me the most valuable thing in a prison is a space. They value so much the space around themselves. And if you come and invade it, you get in trouble.
Yeah.
So space is very, very important to give. T in stream stands for time. People are not giving time. If I ask you, give me 5 hours, then you give me excuse.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to do this. I don't have time.
That's right.
Because time so much close to our ego. And now we don't want to give up that. So that's also we should give time. You should spend time with the people who need it. People whom we feel like we are going to help with time. So we can give time. R in stream stands for respect. Respect, most people say, they don't respect me. But you first give respect and you get respect. So giving again and receiving, it's two-way street. Where you give, you receive also. So giving respect is very important. And I start asking children, do you have space? Do you have time? Do you have respect? Yes, I say yes. So I tell them you should give that. Then next E, stream, E, effort, energy. So you should give energy. Right? I ask children, do you have energy? They say yes. Come to me. Give me your energy for 1 hour.
Oh, as in labor.
Yes, labor. You can volunteer. Yeah, and that's also very good. Without expecting anything in return, you can volunteer. So, Ming, please come to Uganda and volunteer for Toma. Most people start shaking when they say come and volunteer in Uganda. They say I don't have time, I don't have energy. But actually, energy is so close also to the ego. We want to reserve energy to do our own things. But to tell people, let go of energy and give it to somebody. I'm telling you, start whining. Oh, I want to rest. I'm tired. So children have energy. I say, give energy. If you don't have other things to give.
Yeah.
A stands for attention in streamed.
Yeah.
Attention.
And so we say that again.
Okay.
Okay.
Attention. The news is the news. Buddhism trains you to have to attention.
That's right.
That's why we need emotional intelligence.
That's right.
Yeah, in your book about search within yourself.
That's right. So you say it, which is not visible to the eye there.
Buddhism training you to have attention.
Yeah.
And once you train in attention,
Yes.
increase your attention span.
Correct.
You should also be able to give attention to other people.
Yes.
In French, they say faites attention. Pay attention. Most people these days are not paying attention, except they pay attention to Google.
Right now.
Yeah, Google.
YouTube.
All Google has taken the attention of people. So the net effect, we see that, especially the younger generation, you have to set something 3 times before they get it, because they were not paying attention.
I'm sorry, say it again.
So this person, because attention is somewhere else. So that's a gift you can give to other people. And in fact, most of the time, when you speak and I don't give you attention, you feel very bad.
True.
Let's say if you try to talk to me and I'm shouting again, hey, Bhante, then I say, what are you talking about?
Yes.
That means I didn't give you attention.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So attention is something you should give.
That's right.
And also you receive it if you give.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you give attention,
Yes.
you get attention also.
Yes.
Then I ask children, can you give attention? They say yes.
Yes.
So I found out children can give something.
I think it just reminds me of the joke about attention. Yeah, it's that the wife says to the husband, You haven't heard a thing I just said, have you? And the husband said, that's a strange way to start a sentence.
No, very interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. Okay, now aim is very common. Material things. Yeah, give you a cup of tea.
Yes.
Yeah, give you a toothbrush. Use toothbrush.
Yes, that's true.
You give him a book.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so aim is very common, but children always challenged me when I was talking about generosity in terms of material thing. But I found out a new list which includes everything.
Yeah.
Now material thing is very common. I don't need to talk more about that.
Yeah.
Then E in the stream means give everything. That is, if I haven't talked about anything there, you give everything. I'm not saying you become poor. I'm saying that things that I haven't talked about outside time, attention, or time. If I haven't mentioned that one, this is the time to give everything.
For everything else.
Everything else.
So, okay.
Yeah, everything else.
Okay.
Now when I challenge, when I stop there, people say, okay, you're a mom. We bring food here, but what do you give us? It's been in Uganda, people challenge me. What do you give us?
Yeah, what do you give them?
I told them I give you the Dharma. Dharma is the ambrosia of life.
The best gift in the world.
Yes, God. You're giving God.
Yes.
Gift of God.
Yes.
Yeah, God. I said, I'm giving you God.
Yeah.
I said, oh, you Buddhist, you don't believe in God. I said, this is a gift of Dharma.
Yes.
And for many people, like people, they give to the monastery, build the monastery. There's somewhere where the Buddha said that when you give a monastery, you give everything. So, they give everything. So, I've upgraded that list. Streamed, it covers that, everything about generosity.
Ah.
Yes, streamed.
So how about kind words? Is that in streamed?
Everything.
It comes under everything. Okay, so by definition, because it's on the last E, it can't possibly miss anything.
Cannot miss anything. And D is the last one, but it should have been the first one.
Yes.
Yes, but as you know, the Buddha, when he was teaching,
Yes.
he teach gradual things,
Yes.
gradually. Anyway, that I wanted to tell you more about the best thing to give, but then we go, why? Why bother?
Okay.
Okay, so-
Why Bhante?
You see, I really like the way you said that. Actually, the Buddha mentioned it 5 years as the first paramita and all that. But I would like to locate the teaching of generosity in the Noble Eightfold Path.
Tell me.
It's right there. Yeah?
Yes.
Yes, it's just right there. You can't miss it. If you're looking for it, you can't miss it.
Okay. Where do I find it?
So in the Noble Eightfold Path, it's part of what we call right thoughts.
Oh, so right intention.
Yes.
Samma sankappa.
Yes, Samma sankappa.
Samma sankappa means right intention. It refers to these 3 things: renunciation, non-ill will, and harmlessness.
Renunciation.
Yes.
The positive side of that is generosity.
Yes.
Yeah, so is the right thought of non-hatred is actually loving kindness.
Yes.
And then non-cruelty is compassion.
Okay.
So now really we have to locate in this teaching. Buddha talked about generosity in many other places, but for this particular discussion,
Yes.
let us locate it in the main teaching, which leads to enlightenment.
Sounds good.
And that shows that it's very important.
Yes.
Because it's one of
That's right. Yes. Yes. Show me.
it's not a lot of it. Yes. Anytime you want to really locate teaching that leads to enlightenment, it has to be directly or indirectly on the Noble Eightfold Path that is in enlightenment. Right. So now we have located it. Now we'll talk about the importance.
Yes.
The importance of that.
Yes.
What if the importance of, because if it's on the main teaching that leads to enlightenment,
Yes.
lead to peace,
Yes.
lead to awakening, there should be a reason why I'm mentioning it, because it is one of them.
Yes. I agree with everything you say, and I like to think there's actually a little bit more. So first I agree that generosity is located in Samma sankappa, right intention, because it is a renunciation. The problem with our normal life is that we're holding on to everything. We're holding on not just to material things, we're holding on to
Time, like energy.
also selfness, this self, I'm holding on, right? So actually the first step to enlightenment is to just to let everything go, but of course gradually. You can't just do it all in one thing, gradually. And that the other side of that is generosity. But it's a mindset shift. So that's why it's so important. I also think, in addition, it's also found in right speech and right action, at least. Right?
Yes.
Right? Because in right speech, when we're speaking with kindness, it's a form of generosity. But not just that, sometimes we have to give negative feedback.
Yes.
Yes, and to do it in a way that is useful without hurting somebody. It's very hard. And I think it's a form of generosity.
Yes.
Right. And also like right action. For example, not taking life and so on. I think everything there can be thought of as an act of generosity to others and to self.
Yes.
So the multiple parts is when generosity is either explicit or implicit embedded. So I think you asked me, Bhante, why generosity is important on the path. I think that's why, because it's found in so many places.
Yes. You're correct. We're on the same path. Because when you look at even right concentration, it's a form of generosity. Did you know that?
Tell me, say that.
Jhana, first jhana.
Yes. How is that generosity? It will be
Quite secluded. This is a formula. Quite secluded from sensual pleasures and have an unwholesome state of mind.
Yes.
One enters.
Yes.
Right there in the first formula, even in first jhana,
I see.
the form of generosity,
That's a good
of
point.
letting go.
That's right.
Letting go of what? Of unwholesome states of mind. And also letting go on sensual desires, which is greed.
Yes.
And generosity, the opposite of greed.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I love that because I mean, when to like deal with the poison of greed, that is actually the most important antidote. Is that because every time we're generous, we are fighting greed a little bit. So the more generous we are, the more greed just goes away.
Yes.
So,
And also part of right mindfulness is a form of generosity. Yes.
say more.
You know, mindfulness requires you to pay attention to what's happening in the present moment. You have to let go of the past and the future.
You're right.
You have to let go. And nobody wants to. That's why, you try to tell the mind to be present, it goes into the past. You have to really practice let go of the past thoughts and the drama and the movie, past movie.
Right.
You can't stand the present moment if you don't let go of the past.
I like that. Also, what you said earlier, which is part of giving, is giving attention.
Yes.
So this plays in here as well.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So in that sense, right mindfulness is also a practice of generosity.
Yes.
There's something fascinating in neuroscience I learned.
Yes.
A neuroscientist told me that there's a part of the brain that is focus your attention on the chosen object, and then there's a different part of the brain that lets go of these distractions.
Yes.
And they are both separate. The separate faculties of the brain and of the mind. So most people don't know that they are separate because they think the same thing. How they are exercised like easily in the brain.
Yes.
And what you just said is both aspects are aspects of generosity. Just one is giving of attention, so the other is really quickly letting go.
Yes. Well, that's why I want to talk to scientists. You see, I've already put it in perspective. Please, so, in other words,
Yes.
even when we are looking at a broader aspect of the entire Buddha city, it's about letting go.
Yes.
It's a form of generosity.
I agree.
Yeah, because there's one sutta where I said there's nothing to cling on
Yes.
in this world, which is the world of five aggregates.
Yes.
As I mind myself.
Yes.
Whoever
Yes.
hears this has had the entire teaching. Whoever practices this has practiced the whole entire teaching.
Yes.
Whoever realized this has realized the whole teaching. So, in other words, the entire Buddha's teaching is about also giving that. Yeah, letting go. I mean, in really, what is cutting it, boiling it down to the point, but the entire Buddha's teaching is about letting go.
Yes.
That's why we being they're called five aggregates of clinging.
Yes.
So when we don't cling onto them and let go,
Yes.
then we gain the five aggregates. Before they're called five aggregates of clinging, now they're no longer five aggregates of clinging.
Not the dot by aggregates.
There, when you get enlightenment,
Yes.
you have already renounced. then you enlighten. Yeah, that's also looking at the broader picture, but
Oh,
more of the important the benefits coming. But I think it's really good to look at it.
Yeah, right. I agree with you. I also think the entire path of Buddhism is one long path for learning to let go.
Yes,
That's it. Everything else is a detail.
yeah,
But how to let go?
yes, definitely. That's why the Buddha put it there, right there, in his teaching. He put it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I see the point. I really like the way you frame it because I think that part, the whole path is about letting go. I think all the masters agree on that, and I like the way you frame that as generosity.
Yes, is a form of generosity. Now, before we go to more importance coming up.
Oh, there's more important. There's more.
I'd like to tell you other challenges I got when I was teaching in Africa.
Tell me.
People ask me, you have brought us a new religion. We don't know about it. You don't even have enough followers. But I would like to follow you. But the condition for following you, you are going to tell me one new thing that is different from what I know. Then I'll follow you. One new thing. What new thing I'm going to teach you? They say just only one. If you teach me one thing that is new, then I'll follow you. Then I say generosity. They say, wait, we're also very generous. What are you talking about? Buddhism is generous.
Yeah.
They say no. Our generosity is different from you.
No.
I told them for us, our generosity is a basis and support for the practice of generosity. Our practice of generosity is a basis. These words are very important. Basis and support for the practice of sila. Yeah. Virtue. We continue on. I think you know where we're going. Generosity, what we teach, generosity is a base and support for the practice of samadhi, concentration. Without generosity, you cannot practice God. Because you have to let go 5 hindrances.
Okay.
You have to let go. If you still have them and you own them, and you say, I want greed, I want
I perfectly agree with you because when we say earlier that the whole path is about letting go, it includes the many parts of the path.
Yeah.
And in this case of meditation or samadhi,
Yes.
a lot of beginners think that meditation is about focus, but it's not. It's about letting go.
Yeah.
And through letting go, the mind just focuses itself naturally.
Yes, different. So I say, generosity, I continue with him. We teach different generosity from yours because for us, generosity is a base and support for the practice of wisdom, bhavana, method development. Generosity is the base and support for attaining path and fruit, levels or generosity. And generosity is the basis and support for the practice for reaching enlightenment. Is the basis and support. In other words, it's the basis for getting enlightenment and support. Then I say, is that what you teach? No, what's enlightenment? Then they say, okay, it's different. It's not the same. Same, but different. Have you been to Thailand where I say same, but different?
No.
I say, our generosity we teach in Buddhism is different from the generosity you are teaching outside Buddhism. And the Buddha said this kind of thing through a certain discourse where the Buddha said the freedom of letting go of defilements leads to a different state of mind, starting with gladness. With gladness comes joy, from joy tranquility, from tranquility happiness, from happiness to concentration, then yata bhuta jnana dasana, which is another way of saying wisdom, then to disillusion, which is nibbida, then to viraga, which is not glowing. Viraga is about not glowing. Raga
means last.
Yeah, last.
Yeah,
but I like the more non. And the rag is glue, not gluing to condition 1. Literally, it means not gluing.
Not gluing. Not getting stuck.
In other words, let go. Generosity. And then to vimukti.
Devotee is liberation.
Separation. But where does it start? That journey starts from. In Chinese saying that evening, 1,000 miles, start at left foot.
So let's start on foot. Yeah, one step.
In 1 second.
And the first step is generosity to us.
So you see, most people, when you talk about generosity, they say this is a very easy topic. They talk about nibbana. They don't skip it. They just talk to real stuff. Yes, but it's very profound. Profound.
Yes.
Yeah. So then I said, "Do you have that one?" Said, no, not. Then they joined me because it's different. Who is this guy?
I don't know.
Okay, more of the benefits. I've updated the benefits. The benefits of metta,
Of metta.
the same, because it's under right thought, and you cannot give without practicing metta. It's all a package. You must have understanding. You must have right understanding to practice generosity very well. You must have loving kindness. You must have compassion.
Yes.
And you see the whole thing.
Yes.
So since the benefit of 11 benefits which you were already familiar,
Yes.
11 benefits which I'm going to go through very quickly, it's the same benefits.
According to the Buddha, the 11 benefits of metta or loving kindness are: one sleeps at ease, one wakes at ease, one has no bad dreams, one is dear to humans, one is dear to non-humans, one is protected by deities, one is not harmed by fire, poison, or weapons, one can easily enter samadhi, one's facial complexion is clear and bright, one dies unconfused, and if one does not attain anything higher, one will be reborn in the Brahma world after death.
You're saying the 11 benefits of metta, loving kindness, are also the same 11 benefits of generosity. Well, that's cool.
Live well.
Let's take that. It's fascinating to move back. Loving kindness. If Buddha talk about loving kindness, the first 3 benefits had to do with sleep.
In the scriptures, we find those 11 benefits given to metta practice.
Yes.
But metta practice next to generosity.
Yes.
So that's why by logical extension, there should be also the 11 benefits of generosity, because you cannot practice generosity without loving kindness.
Oh.
Yes, and also you cannot generosity without compassion.
Yes.
Otherwise, you are going to.
I see your point.
Without compassion,
I see your point. So therefore, generosity is not just about here's money. Oh, no. The true practice of generosity needs to have loving kindness and compassion.
Yeah.
Therefore, benefits of loving kindness also accrue to my generosity.
yes. And also, you have to look about what the Buddha said about before he talked about right thought. He talks about understanding. That means to practice of generosity that is going to lead to awakening.
Yes.
You must have wisdom. Without that,
Yes.
generosity is just empty shell. Just giving, abandoning.
I see.
Just abandoning the things.
I see. So if I understand what I just said, is that again, the true practice of generosity is done in the context of understanding.
Yes.
Not just understanding. Like understanding the Dharma.
Yeah, the understanding, the form of suffering,
No way of power.
Yeah, like that.
Yes.
Yes. So with that background,
Yes.
let's go to the 11 benefits of metta, which is I'm also extending them to generosity.
Yes.
One of them is you sleep well.
Correct.
Yes, because you're not holding on to anything.
Mhm.
And you
Yeah.
let it go.
Yes.
And then you sleep very right.
Yeah.
And then you have good dreams. I call them Dharma dreams. People say sweet dreams. I said Dharma dreams. Dharma dreams, sweet dreams. Dream when you're helping others.
Yeah.
For me, sometimes I dream.
Yeah.
Like now when I leave, I'm going to ordain 55 children for 7 days.
Oh.
So sometimes I'm dreaming when I'm really like with those children who are beginning their spiritual practice and really like walking with them, going for arms round. So we call them Dharma dreams. So call them sweet dreams, Dharma dreams. Okay. Wake up very well, not grouchy, because you've been really having good dreams, and also you sleep very well. You dream when you wake up when your mind is very fresh.
True. Also, your body and mind is relaxed because of the generosity. Because you're letting go.
Yes, really good. Yes,
That's why you wake up refreshed.
Yes, wake up with refreshing. Yes. So now You know sleeping pills?
I guess.
You have generous to pills.
That's right.
Yeah. So what's is that?
No, now that you mention it, yes, I haven't had problems sleeping like for many years since I started meditation. And you're right, this is the formula, isn't it? Fit and win. It's the letting go of body and mind.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Of letting go of the afflictions of body and mind.
Yes,
That's why I asked you so well.
yes, definitely. Then we go to loved by human being.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know when you're generous,
Yes.
people love you.
Yes. I know that, especially people who take my money.
People love you, but even animals, friendly to animals. Animals, when you are feeding them,
Yes.
they will love you.
That is true.
You know, some people, they even, people who feed lions and tigers in the cages, when people come, they love them. Because without them,
That's so good.
what? Okay, heavenly beings.
Yes.
You also loved by heavenly beings.
Yes.
Do you know, by the way, there's a beautiful story in the scripture
Yes.
whereby Mahamogala
Yes.
went to visit the world.
Yes.
And then he asked the people whom he found there in the heavenly world. He said, how did you get here?
Yeah.
And another one said, okay, I because I was telling the truth.
Yeah. Good.
Another one said, oh, because I was not getting angry.
Good.
Another one said, oh, I was giving even trivial things like fruits and vegetables. So even generosity can lead you to heaven and rain.
Yes.
But anyway, let us skip the 11 benefit. The sixth one is that you are loved by what? By heavenly beings. Devas.
Good. Yes.
The seventh one, your complexion is good. Your complexion is good.
Neat. Fresh. Thank you. Also, people laughing for my dum.
This is called Dana cosmetics.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Dana what?
Okay.
Cosmetics.
Yes.
Yes. When you practice Dana,
Yes.
because you have let go.
Yeah.
You have
Foundations. Listen, is it?
about inner qualities also.
Yes.
Not only outside the skin,
Yes.
but inner quality. Yeah, we should extend it not only outside.
I have a question. When you say complexion in this context, it's not just skin color. There's something more. What my friend thought is that something is
Freshness. You feel fresh. Complexion, though they talk about in the general, like external,
Yes.
but inner glow, glowing. For me, when they look tenacious alive. When somebody look tenacious alive, but not so.
Is that complexion?
For me, I extend it that way.
Yeah.
Having to be tenacious alive, and I would say both. I would give it to both externally as its literal meaning, but I will also extend its inner qualities. The shiny, the looking, you can see them in the eyes. Somebody who has good qualities in the eyes, outside the eyes, you can see somebody's peaceful.
I see. In other words, when you say complexion in this context, you mean like it should be shine.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about really shining outside, but also for me, my understanding, I'll extend it to inner glow that you can see when you look at somebody. And yes, because outside the eyes also can show. When I look at your eyes, I can see that you're a person who is alive.
Fascinating.
Yes, because the eyes are small. This is part of the complexion. But you see, in your eyes, you see somebody who's really so bogged down with a lot of suffering. But if somebody has good qualities, when I look at the eyes, you can see those inner qualities that somebody's at peace and very happy. For me, I saw it in Brazil.
I see.
Nuns,
Yeah.
I look at nuns when they smile. They have all what to call all the
Fish scale.
yes, wrinkled space. When they smile and look at the shining, the outside shining, in that glow. But of course, skin and outer are connected.
Yes,
So either way, for me, I take it either way. But the scripture seems to imply outside complexion, but also for me, the inner beauty.
Yeah.
Okay, Dharma cosmetics. Yes, right there. So I don't have to buy a lot.
Fascinating. Yes. Yeah, we should sell it and brand it as Korean or something. People.
Yeah. Now we go to another good thing that you're protected by fires, weapons,
Yes, and poison.
and poison.
Is it literally or no?
Figure how that also means. Because this is it, you're protected by the fire of greed. That's the first fire. Poison of greed.
I like that.
Yeah, poison greed.
Yes.
Fire of greed. You know that. Because you're practicing generosity.
Yes.
The fire
Yes.
and the weapon
Yes.
is there.
Sure. Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It literally will not make sense.
No.
Yeah.
However, when metta,
Yes.
we have stories where people really, literally,
Yeah.
have escaped weapon.
Yeah.
But really, we should not take things too literal.
Correct.
They should be figurative speech. So, but you agree with me when
I agree with you.
when we practice Dana,
Yes.
which generosity?
Yes.
We are praying from the fire,
Yes.
the poison.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Correct. When I agree with you, because when we practice like metta and just living entity alone,
Yes.
I feel that there's a shield. I'm protected from Kumara. It's like from like the personification of all things bad. Yeah. So it is like it feels literally like defense.
Yes. Okay, then we go to another benefit is that you gain concentration easily.
Samadhi.
Okay.
Yes.
The jhana first.
Correct.
Quite secluded.
Yes, that's right.
Sensual pleasure.
Yeah.
What's the opposite of when you're secluded from sensual pleasure?
Yes.
Is that not letting go?
Yes, that's right. That's letting go.
And unwholesome sense of mind.
Yes.
One attains
Yes.
the first jhana, which has initial application of thought, sustainable application of thought.
Yes.
Joy, happiness, and all this. So we can see it clearly that when you practice that generosity,
Yes.
you gain concentration. Another one is you die peaceful.
Yes.
Most people,
I haven't tested it yet. I'm selfish. I don't
most people I had that when they die, their face is so tight and very tight because every time they're thinking about what they have accumulated in their life, it's going to be gone. And people are not going to use it very well. So that's what really makes people so much uptight.
I see.
Yeah, they're still holding on. And in fact, if you tell them like, please let go.
Yeah.
Let go of the family, let go of children, let go of this. So they start letting go of it. So it's more of actually, again, we can see that from people who tell us, those who have seen people die, we are holding on to life. In fact, even people are old, 96 years, they have to be reminded, Daddy, let it go, lie. They're still clinging on the line here. So can you see the benefit of...
Fascinating.
Yes, clinging on to life. Actually, the biggest clinging is not so much of the material thing. It's about life. They don't want to let it go. So if you practice letting go, you die peacefully. Okay, the last one. You know the last one?
Okay.
If you don't attain the highest,
Yeah.
in other words, if you don't gain enlightenment,
That's right.
you go to Brahma world.
Yes.
How many suttas the Buddha talk about at the breakup of the body when you practice generosity? You go to Brahma world.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. So right there, 11 benefits.
That's right.
But if we can simplify them. We can really group them that benefit in this life, benefits in subsequent lives, benefits in ultimate enlightenment. Yeah, because for me, the benefit in this very life, I've tested it.
Yes. That's right. Me too.
Can I share with you? I think for you can share also.
Tell me.
But let me first share with you.
Okay.
I was in the United States in December.
Yes.
They call birds were feeding before they were feeding in the forest, in the woods at Emerson Barrel, Massachusetts. So before it snowed, I used to take the seeds they used to take it from my hand. I think, bird.
A bird. Yeah.
Yeah. And I gave them seeds, but I put them in the hands like this. They used to come and take the seeds, and I put there. They take the seeds. But later on, I saw many birds are coming. I could not put on in the hand. I put in the hand so that I can enjoy the ticking. So, but then there were so many coming.
Yeah.
I could not fit here in my hand.
Yeah.
I started putting on the ground. And then I saw the big ones coming to eat the seeds. And then others, they were just, try to fight each other, the small one. Yeah. But one day I was meditating, I had a lot of pain. I said, let me practice mindfulness of pain, because that's what the instruction, be mindful of pain.
Yeah.
It was more pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now how I got more pain,
Yeah.
I multiplied pain for 3 months. Because I was just started the retreat, and it was 3-month retreat.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to get pain for 3 months. So when you do math, multiply pain in one day for 3 months, and now we get a lot of pain. So one time, I was meditating, too much pain. So
Where's the pain, by the way?
in knees,
Oh,
it was in my knees and all. Physical pain. One time I went, this time it was winter. I put bats here, I put seats here,
Yeah.
seats here,
Yeah.
seats here on my toppy. It was a down jacket. I put seeds everywhere. Stay there in the forest. Birds were coming, landing on my body. Took off it. I was like airport.
It's very funny. Said.
Any airport. They would come because I could not put the seats on the ground. They were just landing on my body, take off on my body. Wow! All birds were coming to feed from me, not on the ground, but I felt so joyful. I was a lot of joy. And then they finished all the seeds. I went back to meditate. When I sat and meditate, there was no pain.
Oh.
I'm telling you. Because before I was meditating with roughness. When this pain is going, filling my teeth, when this pain is going.
Yeah.
So in other words, I was laying with aversion towards pain.
Yeah.
But here I'm coming with joy and happiness.
Yeah.
I was having practice generosity.
Yeah.
And then I meditated without pain.
Fascinating.
So this is my benefit of generosity right now in this lifetime.
Yeah.
We don't have to wait.
Yeah.
So really, being generous to let it go can lead to a joy, happiness. If you want to manufacture more joy in your life,
Yes.
practice more generous. Because I saw it from my experience, and I kept on giving birds these seeds all the time I was there, and I was getting the same results. Whenever I go there, I was thinking, oh, these birds, they don't have food because now it's winter. I'm here, I'm giving them food. I felt so joy. Now, if you keep on practicing generosity in the other areas, you will get more joy. I like your book.
Thank you.
Joy on demand.
Thank you.
Joy on demand. So for me, I'm no longer just when I'm faced with pain, I'm no longer gritting my teeth. I'm just last time when I ordained as a monk, pain came. It was so painful because I had lifted beds and put on another floor. I had some pain. So when pain came, I said, how are you, my friend? Here you are. I was not saying, when is it going? Having aversion about it. So I was open and I was letting go of the years. So this is very, very important. This is my own experience in meditation when I was practicing generosity. Because also generosity is about letting go.
Yes.
So when pain came, I was just petting on my knees like this. Do like this. You do like this. So when you have like this, how are you, my friend? It's just like opening to it. Other than look at time. When is it going to?
I really like what you just say, because the normal meditation instruction is just to be open to the pain.
Yeah.
And then if you do that, we just get more pain. It's like because always just experiencing but if you are like treating the pain with loving kindness,
Yes.
I think neurologically there are parts of the brain that are connected with maternal love.
Yes.
Like when the mother sees a baby, that part of the brain lights up,
Yes.
and then it feels the person body with joy.
Yes.
And then the mind is in a different place.
Yeah.
And then in that frame of mind, if you see the pain, you see it differently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Changing perception.
Yes.
It's about changing perception.
Yes.
You've heard about phantom limb?
Yes, I heard of that.
Yes. So after that, I would then break it into elements. That's another thing. Yeah. No, instead of seeing pain as a ghost,
Yes.
I would just wisdom into the 5 element. So whenever pain came, I would just become aware, this is hotness, this coolness, this is pressure, this tiredness, this hardness. So once you break it in different parts, you change the perception.
Fascinating.
The pain.
And it becomes divide and conquer.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we live under British colonization. We know that it's divide and conquer.
Is actually this is my experience, but of course the Buddha talk about whenever you practice generosity, we know gladness that we talked about.
Correct.
Yeah, and then in next life, future life, that's when you go to heaven.
Yes.
But we know heaven from Buddhist point of view is what we call post. What we call post. No, road post. That the signpost. Yeah, signpost. Signpost. That's really signpost.
Yeah.
Show you that this is the way to go.
Yeah.
So in other words, for us, when we go to heaven, out of our generosity, it's not the final destination.
Yeah.
We have to continue going.
Correct.
And the way how we continue going is when you practice now. This is now a practice. It's no longer just giving along. It's a practice. It's called Dana-anussati. Dana-anussati. So when you practice generosity, when you go to meditate, don't start watching your breath right away. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing. No. This is called breathing balloon meditation. You know, balloon, you put in air and air going out.
That's good, balloon.
When you practice generosity, first go to meditation, practice Dana-anussati. Mindfulness along with generosity. Remember the things that you've been generous.
Yes.
And then bring them to your mind.
Yeah.
And then you activate joy.
Yes.
You activate gladness and joy.
Yeah.
And when you are joyful,
Yes.
the breath is so easy to watch.
Yes.
As it comes, it was so beautiful. It's like fluffy.
Yes.
It's easy to observe the breath when the mind is already joyful.
I know, right?
Yes.
I know.
You don't fight the breath. You know, people fight the breath.
Yeah.
Fighting the breath.
Yeah.
So, generosity is very important. And we all generous. By the way, do you know that even when you practice Sila, 5%, that's what the Buddha talk about. Hadan.
Yes.
You give fearless.
Yes.
So don't think, I haven't given banana to Bhante. No. Look at, you practice the 5%. Those are called Mahadana. If you already practice generosity of protecting life, protecting other property, those are form of generosity. Protecting relationship, protecting the truth.
Yes.
That's generosity.
Yes.
Yeah, of course you can think about you having donated something and bring it to mind that this generosity of mine is helping Buddhist beings in Africa. So when you arouse generosity from that side, and then you come and you watch your breath, the breath, you can feel it very well. But if you just go straight away, so this is how we practice the benefit of generosity, even for enlightenment, because after that we meditate and then we can go on to different places. So we can see that it leads to final enlightenment. You can see in a future life and also in present life. So I think that's about the importance of generosity. There's more to talk, but I think for now, what do you think about mindfulness?
Wonderful. Yes, I want to end with two things. First is there is something that the Buddha thought that was really, really important, but almost everybody missed all the time, which is the Buddha said the proximate cause of samadhi is happiness.
Yes.
And it's just what everything you just said. It's like samadhi, which is like the concentrated state of a meditative state. It doesn't come from it doesn't come from effort. It comes from joy. It's a joy. And that joy comes from letting go. So the joy is what we are developing in order to get into samadhi. So I say that a lot, and it's worth repeating because people keep forgetting. It's good to remind them. Yes, the proximate cause of samadhi is happiness. Yes. And I want to end with a story. Like you said, when you talk about starting the meditation with generosity, I have first-hand experience of how well you work. And the reason was there was a time when I was so depressed. I had so much difficulty in my life that I almost lost my practice because I could not meditate. Because every time I sit down, all I experienced was pain, emotional pain.
Yes.
I just kept trying, I couldn't do it. And Shoryu gave me the perfect, give me the instruction. But the way he gave me the instruction was he scolded me. He said, "You done so much good for the world, but you keep forgetting." So he pointed at me like this. And the instruction he gave me was, the next time I meditate, remember about my generosity, who I gave to.
Yes.
Yeah. And then then it worked. So I just said that again, all my suffering, and that's yes. Oh, I gave to this, I gave to that. I was nice to this person. Yes. And then I could meditate. And it worked. Yeah. So that was a huge lesson for me.
Wow. Thank you very much for sharing that story.
Oh, thank you.
For me, I also share a story. Okay, two stories. One, I used to go for Pindapat in Sri Lanka. As a monk, I would get food. When I came back, I said, I'll not let one day pass without giving something. So whenever I got banana, I would get from my house and give to the monks who didn't go for Pindapat. It made me feel so good. But the banana was given to me by other people. But I said, I'll give this banana. Yes. It's, I think this broke me up. But there's something else that happened. One last story I want to tell you. I was in Burma in 2003. I went for arms round. All monks have to go for arms round. But the way people practice generosity in Dharma, they give you a spoon of rice. So there will be many of them, but giving you a spoon of rice. Now, I go, because my arms go, I see an elderly lady walking on a stick and came and gave rice. It touched my heart. So one time, I was sitting in hall, there was a monk who was meditating for 4 hours. Me, I was meditating for 1 hour. After 1 hour, pay. How this monk in front of me sit for 4 hours?
Yeah.
Me 1 hour paying.
Yeah.
So now we kept on going for arms around. But later on, I saw this lady coming to give me rice. Put a spoon of rice in my arms bowl. I was so touched by her generosity. So now, when I went back to the meditation, I asked my question. How can I make myself worthy of the generosity of this lady who's about 75 years and gave me a spoon of rice? What can I practice to make myself worthy or to be a recipient of somebody who is too old and came again? Same story. I'm telling you, when I ask myself this question, there was a lot of joy coming that, okay, I'm going to meditate well so that she can get a lot of benefits. The marriage.
That's beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. And then when I sat to meditate, reflecting on that lady giving me food. Now you're talking about giving, but I'm now reflecting on the side of receiving. Because I say it's two-way street.
That's right.
Generous and receiving. It's two-way street. Now, I said, I'm sitting here meditating. How can I make myself worthy of receiving this rice from this lady who came when was so old and limping almost and gave me one spoon of rice? How can I meditate well so that I'm worthy of her gift and joy? Felt so much joy, I kept on increasing my meditation without pain, because we're talking about when you meditate with pain is not good. But I was just, at some point, I was just like, as if I was floating, sitting on a field of cotton, really very soft. I was so surprised how I start breaking through my pain just from joy of reflecting on being on a receiving end. Okay, I think our story has been on giving, but even on the receiving end, we need to reflect. That now I'm receiving this. What can I make? So now there's general reflection that we need to do. Having the Dharma in our lifetime, how can we be worthy of the spirit of the Buddha's teaching?
Yeah.
You see, not everybody is receiving it.
Yeah.
What can we give back to the Dharma?
Yeah, right.
Because we have received.
Yeah.
That means that people have been protecting it throughout the time.
True.
And the Buddha.
Yes.
And there's nothing the way we can do this than putting in practice what the Buddha taught.
Yes.
To give back.
Great. Thank you, dear Bhante. It's so good to have you here.
Welcome, my dear Ming. It's so beautiful to meet you here.
Yeah.
Yes, and have this discussion.
Of-
Singapore. Yes, thank you very much.
Bhante Buddharakhita, my dear friend.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, my dear friend.